The following production is brought to you by the Talkin' Buds Leaf Show.
Here we go. Talkin' Buds Leaf Show post-game edition. Another Maple Leaf playoff performance that was an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Max Domi, after I took to Twitter and said he was fucking awful tonight, comes out in overtime, scores the OT winner, and to quote Dumb and Dumber, and totally redeems himself. And the Leafs are heading to Ottawa up 2-0 in this series. This was the tale of two games, or two teams tonight, I should say. The Leafs came out to start this game, and I thought the first period of this game tonight was the best version of this Leaf team I think I've ever seen. I thought it was dominance for 20 minutes. It was hard on pucks. It was finishing checks. It was a commitment to checking that I've never seen this team show ever. And they go up 2-0 and you're thinking, oh man, they're really in the Sens kitchen now. Like they are in the Sens head. They're working them. Then Ryan, as you put it, they were sleepy. They were sleepy in the second period and in the third period. Let the Sens back into the game. I think we were all kind of sitting on our hands, a bit nervous going into that overtime. And sure enough, Max Domi, moments after I chirp him, scores the OT winner. And here we are. Leafs win 3-2, up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, I just have to say, thank fucking God Max Domi just scored that goal. Thank God, because I didn't really feel like coming on here and throwing a spaz tonight because I was about to do that because of all the things you just laid out, because that was a roller coaster. When they went up 2-0, I almost felt more uncomfortable as a Leaf fan than I've ever felt in the playoffs.
That's the emotional damage that you have suffered being a fan of this franchise showing its head.
It's just like I feel so wrong being optimistic during one of those moments because you're like, wow, they're playing well. They're kind of like dominating them. And then all the thoughts run in your head. Like, are they way better than this team? Like, did we completely overthink this? And then the second period starts and they get absolutely dominated for 20 minutes, just forechecked for 20 straight minutes, and they fell asleep and they stopped playing their game. And then you get a feeling that I had that feeling inside of me, like they're going to crumble. They're going to crumble. And then ultimately, and it wasn't like anyone let any bad goals or anything, or even they didn't play awful. I wish they weren't as sleepy, but what do you know? It's 2-2, and here we are going into overtime. And then just thank God Max Domi redeemed himself and scored that goal, because I feel so much better 2-0
shoot the puck,
going
Max.
to Canada.
How many times in his 2 seasons here have we and the rest of this fan base gone, Max, shoot the puck, man. Shoot the puck. And look what happens. Dude, Linus Ullmark, he's there for the taking. They had success again tonight in the first period, just throwing things on net. And that's how that's like, he can't handle it. The guy's in his own head. His playoff numbers speak for themselves. And then they went to sleep in the second period. I am sticking with what my narrative has been before this series started and now 2 games in. I don't want to take anything away from Ottawa. I think Ottawa's a good team. Like they're good. They play hard. They're well coached, all that stuff. But the Leafs are better, and they stopped doing the things that they were doing in game 1 and in the first period tonight, and they let Ottawa back into the game. I'm sorry. I know Ottawa was dominating the play, as you put it, but that's because the Leafs went to sleep. Well, it's not because the Senators are better.
I've accepted that there's going to be 10 to 15 minutes in each playoff game where they're going to get caved in their own end. Like, I've just accepted that. But it just went on a little bit too long. It just went on a little bit too long, and I understand that team's going to put pressure on you, and they're going to work your D, and you're going to turn pucks over, and it's going to happen. You're going to have to recover, make sure you're covering your man, all that good stuff. But when you just completely stop attacking in the other zone and just you're not even getting past the other team's blue line for 20 minutes, like that's that it was a little bit concerning. It is. I don't love watching it, to be honest with you.
I feel a bit jarred right now because I was ready to come on here like you and was ready to throw a spaz and was ready to criticize Mitch Marner for going to sleep after taking the high stick to the face, like completely disappearing out of that hockey game after taking the high stick to the face. I was ready to blow up the third line, just a defensive liability, that whole line, maybe look at sitting someone and bringing in Max Pacioretty. I was ready. And now
I would
they
still
get the win.
consider that.
Yeah, you still like
that line.
You still think
that line is a black hole defensively. They might give you a shift or two. They might be dangerous. There's a couple guys who can score on that line, but I thought tonight I was just nervous every time they were in their own end.
I'm pretty damn close to putting Bobby McMahon's face on a milk carton because the guy's been nowhere.
Yeah, it's ever since he got put on that line, ever since he got taken off the second line and demoted back to the third line, he's kind of, he's just haven't been able to find any offense or any opportunities.
So who would you look at taking out? Nick Robertson? Nick Robertson.
Nick Robertson's such a funny player, man. Like he's just,
dude.
he's
After
something.
game one, you and I are like, he played well. He's
he did. Yeah, he was like kind of pissing guys off, and he was like doing things. But man, when he doesn't play well, he really does not play well. And then you start thinking. I mean, we had this conversation the other day. Then you start thinking about maybe you do just need a defensively responsible guy in that role because clearly they just don't have. That line is not going to provide enough offense to get over some of the defensive lapses in their own end. So maybe you do need to look to pivoting whoever is available who you feel more confident in their own end.
I could potentially see a scenario where they move Domi to the wing and Kampf draws back into the lineup.
Yeah, and I don't love David Kampf. Like I'm just saying, no. Like I'm not saying I'm clamoring for a David Kampf appearance, but I thought Nick Robertson was pretty bad tonight.
I was thinking about it in the intermission there between the third and overtime. I was kind of looking at their daily face-off, and I was like, what if you took Robertson out, moved Domi to the wing, moved Lawton up to center that line, and then put Kampf in his usual role as the 4C?
Oh, the problem is just you like what you've gotten out of your bottom line.
Yeah.
Like I think they're not a top line, but I think for the most part, they're out there. They're working hard. They're playing playoff style hockey. They're having good shifts. I also wouldn't want to mess with that as well. So I mean, there's no perfect scenario here. Like Scott Lawton was brought in here to be the third center. He's not a third center. So then you just still have a hole at 3C, and just that there's always going to be a line that they're going to throw out that it's just not. They're not going to have a great night. We're always going to try and change it. It's just the way it is. It's the way they're constructed. So, I mean, but at the end of the day, when you score a big goal in OT and you win that game, you can kick those things a little bit further down the road. If you lose tonight, then everybody's freaking out and you're looking at rearranging the entire lineup.
The NBA 82 game grind is done, and now the real fun begins. The NBA playoffs are here, and it's time for all the high-stakes drama, clutch moments, and jaw-dropping plays.
I can't wait. If you're looking to make the playoffs even more exciting, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered as an official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Try placing a bet on your favorite player's performance. Will they drop 30 points, 40, or more? It's your call.
Here's something special for first-timers. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly.
Make it a playoff run to remember with DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/ice.
Anthony Stolarz was fantastic again tonight. It really does make a difference. It feels odd being the team that has the better goalie.
Yeah, see, that's
so far in a playoff series.
That's kind of
it
the
feels
feeling.
odd.
That's kind of the feeling I was explaining earlier. It's just like when they went up 2-0, you just start like your brain just starts like, their goalies like really lead and their power plays finally clicking and they're checking and you're just getting all excited. It just made me feel uncomfortable because it's like I'm not used to this. I'm used to the feeling of which I had later in the game of they're gonna blow this thing.
Yeah.
So having Stolarz back there and both those goals too, like that the first one was a fluke. The second one was
both
a good
fluky goals.
Yeah, the second one was a nice tip. Like there wasn't really anything he could have done on. Like he hasn't really let in a bad goal this series. I think he's been good both games. You couldn't ask for more from him.
I just think heading back to Ottawa, winning that game, hanging on to win that game in OT, and heading back to Ottawa now, the Sens are.
Yeah,
that just sucked the life out of the Sens. Yeah, that just sucked the life out of them. Like they were feeling good about themselves. They got back in this game. They had a chance to win.
Yeah. And then Ullmark could have got his confidence back.
The Leafs didn't really test them a whole lot after the first period, but he could have got his confidence back a little bit. You're right, and they've now put their foot on the Sens' throat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too confident here. I don't. This coming back. This is what I mean. I can't come on here and just be too stoked about what they're doing because I just can't. I can't let myself get there yet. I can't.
Yeah. What did you think of the top two lines tonight? I thought everybody came out buzzing in the first period, and then all of them kind of faded into the game as it went on.
Yeah, they just stopped being as effective, and they kind of just fell into what the rest of the team fell into, was just being in their own end for way too long, and then no one else could really get going. I thought Nylander kind of ran out of gas. I thought Marner disappeared after the power play. I thought Nyes and Matthews were still kind of those two could make a good like forechecking duo when they really get it going. Like those are two big dudes, and when both of them get on the forecheck together, like good stuff happens. So I think I kind of liked what they did. I thought Tavares was pretty good. I don't know, but yeah, I am really I hated the whole narrative. Everyone just loving the Seds 5-on-5 play. Like just that was so
my God,
annoying,
dude,
that was
glazing.
So annoying.
The glazing that has gone on in the last...
gooning the Sens. My God.
The last 24 hours, the glazing of the Sens 5-on-5 play. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Some Sens fan can come in the comments and call me an arrogant Leafs fan. I'm sorry. The Leafs are a far better hockey team, and they let the Sens didn't fight their way back into that game tonight. The Leafs let them back into that game tonight. And you saw in the first period, when they're committed to doing all the things Craig Berube wants them to do, they dominate. They are way better than this Ottawa Senators team. Even if somehow Ottawa comes back and wins this series, it'll be because the Leafs allow them to do that. I'm sorry. That is just a straight up fact. They are better than the Ottawa Senators, and they have to keep playing like it, and they'll take care of business here. Like it's that cut and dry, in my opinion.
Yeah, everyone was kind of over the top about that 5-on-5 thing. Like I mean, I do get it. It is to me the most frustrating part about the Leafs. It's just that segment they go through where the other team starts dumping the puck in, and they just can't handle a hard forecheck. And a part of me's saying to myself, if you can't handle the Ottawa forecheck and you get by this series, well, you know who's waiting for you in the next round. The best forechecking team that's ever walked planet Earth.
Who are currently, as we speak right now,
just
handing the Tampa Bay Lightning their ass.
Yeah.
What about you and I 2 episodes ago? Oh, they're tired. They're going to get morons.
No, they've been napping.
Yes.
They've been napping. Yeah. So, that does concern me. I hate seeing them get caved. And it's just like, you're only going to play better forechecking teams. But, all the things we've complained about in the past years are the reasons why they're up 2 games now, though. They finally are scoring power play goals, 4 power play goals. They finally have a goaltender who isn't going to let in a softie. Like, it's just, that to me, that's the difference. D-core,
I thought all their D plays well, man. I thought their D was fine. I thought what happens is the forwards stop. There's a lot of Sheldon Keefe circling back that's happening, and I don't cheating for offense.
Yeah, I don't like when the defense finally they go back, they do a D-to-D pass, they turn back, or even when they're trying to break out, it's some guys are just like breaking the zone a little too early. And it's just like,
Yes.
you're kind of leaving these, if there's two forwards in between the Leafs defenseman and the forward leaving the zone, then it's just, you're not doing them any favors. And then it makes the D-man look bad because they give the puck away. It's just, there's still some things in their game. Like if I'm really nitpicking here, I'm happy they're up 2-0, but there's still some things in their game that I do think they need to clean up. I do think sometimes they still try to go back and circle around and try to make a play when it's like, no, man, just get it deep. Just get it deep. Have some ozone time. Like there's still little things, but I mean, I would way rather have them little things to work on when you're up 2-0 opposed to being tied 1-1 or down 0-2.
And you know who else loves that, Ryan? Craig Berube.
Yeah.
Because he can take them out at practice tomorrow. He can take them in the film room and be like, we got to be way better here. We got to be way better here. But at the end of the day, it's commitment. It's just you have to commit to outworking your opponent. You have to commit to checking.
Yeah,
you have to commit.
Can't just fall asleep for so long. Like just,
yes,
you're going to have a point where that's going to happen. But just like, how can we not make it an entire period that could just blow up on our entire game? We had a great start. We scored a power play goal. Our goalie's playing well. But just because we've shut down and we're going to let the other team just forecheck us to death and we're not going to do anything about it offensively. It's just, I don't love it.
Again, I think we're walking a line here of trying not to focus on the negative. When you're up 2-0 and you had a first period like they had tonight, like you have to say it. And we're thrilled that they won this game. But I think what you're saying, that's where you need one of your big boys to kind of lift you out of it. And I thought they all kind of checked out, man. Like Mitch Marner checked out of that hockey game after he took the high stick to the face. He was done. Like he was like, I'm out. I can't do this. You pointed out how he just let Stützle go on the back check there. It's just this is where those scenarios where you go to sleep is where you need your leadership group to kind of steer you out of it. And I don't think any of them really did that, to be honest with you.
Well, I think that's why it was just so important for them to win this game. Exactly what you just said. Now Berube can just go to work and I mean, I don't want to be too negative here. Like I'm kind of talking like they lost the game. I just want them to play their absolute best and just clean everything up. Like I'm actually really impressed with what they've done so far. Just scoring 4 power play goals in 2 games is like that's all we've been waiting for. Like, thank you.
And I hate to be a broken record about it, but especially when you see the first period tonight, I was blown away watching this team check. Like they were all anytime a white jersey had the puck, there were 2 blue jerseys around them finishing checks, like puck battles along the boards, in on the forecheck right off the bat. Matthews and Nyes are in there on the forecheck, like taking the body, getting the puck back. Like when you see them do it and you see that they're locked in, it's just, and this has been something that we've seen with this team over the years, is they have a tendency, like they don't always stay locked in. And I'm sure when you're Berube and the coaching staff behind the bench, you want to pull your hair out when you're watching them in that second period, because you're like, how the fuck do we just go from dominating these guys for 20 minutes to letting them dictate the play and take it to us for the entire second period?
Yeah. And all this is just coming from me just being stressed out about everything I've seen over the past 8 seasons. That's all this is about. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I don't want to come on here and start proclaiming things. It's just like, no, I still see some areas of their game that I think they need to improve. They've also done other things extremely well, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're up 2-0 and you couldn't ask for a better situation. So, I mean, I'm really happy with where they're at, and let's go to Canada, baby.
We're going to Canada, and it'll be at least half that building will be Leaf fans. So they've got a chance here, man. They've got a chance to really make a statement here. Linus Ullmark, just fire everything at this guy. This guy's confidence is shot. His team's confidence in him is shot. As soon as they went up 2-0 tonight, everyone's kind of thinking, is Greeny going to pull this guy? Like, is that happening? Fire everything at him. Don't let them back into this series. You like, this is kind of a new uncharted territory for this core group. Like, yes, they had the Habs, but for the most part, they have not been in this situation.
Yeah.
In the 9 years they've been in the playoffs.
No, they've never been up 2-0 in a series. So
yeah. And so you got to keep pushing and take this team out.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm trying to rack my brain. I feel like, I don't know. Just
What do you think of the officiating tonight? You were mentioning it. That was
it was a little
focal point for you.
timid. It was a little timid after a certain point of the game.
Yeah.
I thought early they were like calling things and whatever, and they're talking to guys, and then I don't know. And then it just seemed like it was kind of timid after that. I don't know. I didn't really. I'm not a big. I don't love officiating in any sport, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't want to hear any Senators fans complaining about it after this game because.
Well, I thought in the back half of that game, I thought the refs were making like a conceited effort not to like do anything in the Maple Leafs' favor. That was just
100%. 100%. Like at the end of the day, sure, the high stick on Marner was accidental, but the dude was bleeding. Should have been a penalty. And then who was it that flipped it over the boards? Like straight up, no interference, shoots it into the crowd. No call.
It was off the glass, apparently.
Yeah, it was not off the glass. Watch the replay. It's all over the internet.
Yeah.
It was not off the glass. So I don't want to hear any more bitching and complaining about officials from the opposing fan base.
I hate officials in every sport. I hate them in hockey. I hate them in football, and I really hate them in baseball. I never have anything good to say about them.
All right, buddy, we're going to get out of here. We will be back on Thursday night after game 3. So if you'd like to join us for that, hit the like and subscribe button below. Thank you so much to everyone who checked out our game 1 post-game show and all the new people who subscribed to the channel. We really, really appreciate it. If you're listening to the audio version, leave a comment, leave a review. Every little bit helps us.
Spread the word, tell your friends.
We really appreciate it. We will see you guys after game 3.